If you read a lot and your friends know you read a lot, eventually they are going to ask you for book recommendations. Now, oftentimes that's a delight because you love to share what you read, but sometimes they ask you for highly specific recommendations and you may or may not have any topic expertise. For example, this morning my friend asked me for nonfiction recommendations to read about and on a trip to Los Angeles. That is not Los Angeles outside the window, but LA is a city that I've come to know much better and really appreciate over the last decade, and has inspired some great books or played the backdrop in some great books, so I definitely had some to recommend. First and foremost is Everything Now by Rosencrantz Baldwin. The book's subtitle is Lessons from the City-State of Los Angeles, and it's that conception of LA as a city-state, different from and unique to any other city in America, that Baldwin tries to capture in these series of essays, looking at highs and lows and all these different parts of the city that you don't necessarily know, just reading about it from the outside. It's one of the best pieces of place-based journalism that I've ever read, bar none, and absolutely the book to start with if you've never really felt like you've understood LA before. Next up is The Library Book by Susan Orlean. This doubles as a book on LA and also a book for anybody who is a library or a book lover generally. No spoilers, but in 1986, the Los Angeles Public Library burns to the ground, and Orlean tells the story of how and why that happened, as well as penning a love letter to libraries and Los Angeles more generally. Hollywood's Eve by Lily Analik is the biography of Eve Babitz. I think more people know about Eve Babitz than maybe used to in my generation, in part thanks to Analik's books. But she's this captivating character, an it girl of the 60s and 70s who has a literary career, a celebrity career, a recluse career, and whose story is really tied up to the LA that she lived in and through. If you love biographies of captivating, flawed characters, this is definitely an essential read. Last but not least is Tattoos on the Heart by Father Gregory Boyle. I love my Jesuits, and this book is about Father Boyle's work over decades to combat violence in the neighborhoods of Los Angeles that he's assigned to, by creating programs offering job training and rehabilitation services to people who have been incarcerated or have been gang affiliated. And it's this wonderful meditation on the importance of dignity and redemption and hope, all in the midst of some very real human brokenness. And if you don't want to read any of those books, but you still like to learn a little bit more about Los Angeles, go watch City of Gold. Jonathan Gold was one of the best food writers that this country has ever produced, and his obsession with Los Angeles and the food in it makes for one of the best documentaries I have ever seen. Like I said, I'm a non-resident, so if you're from Los Angeles and I completely whiffed this, feel free to let me know. Or if you have other books or stories that you like about the city, feel free to drop those in the comments.